Let's talk about horizontal stretches and compressions. So imagine I have f of x is equal to 5x plus 1. Now the rule for a horizontal stretch and compression is we're taking our f of x, but now inside of the parentheses, it's no longer just x. It's now a times x. So we're affecting the input, the inside of our function. And you'll notice that over here, the only thing that's inputted is an x, right? When we want to evaluate it for some number, we just change the x. So our input is always our x. So now, instead of x, we're going to have some a times x. Let me show you what I mean. If I had an a value somewhere in between, if I have an a value greater than 1, or an absolute value, a value greater than 1, we're going to call that a horizontal compression. And if we have an a value that's somewhere in between 0 and 1, well, we call that a horizontal stretch. Okay, let's look at g of x. Let's say g of x, I wanted green. Let us say that g of x is equal to f of 2x. Okay, so the input is 2x. Okay, before I had an x, f of x, so I had a 5x. But now I have an f of 2x. So my f is 5x plus 1, so 5x plus 1. But instead of the x, I'm now going to insert a 2x. Okay, what does that do? Well, the 5 multiplies a 2x, and we get 10x, and nothing happens to the 1. So from our original f of x to our new equation, you'll notice that the slope did change, okay, because I went from a 5 to a 10. But you'll notice that the y-intercept actually stays the same. And when we see that only the slope changes and the y-intercept does not change, we know that it's either a horizontal compression or a stretch. Well, what was our a value? It was 2. And 2 is greater than 1, which means that this is a horizontal compression with a scale factor of 2. Our slope is scaled by 2, and our y-intercept remains the same. If I have f of x, again, equal to 5x plus 1, and now I say that g of x is going to equal f of 1/5 x, this is what it looks like. Well, f of x was, again, 5x plus 1, but now instead of an x, we're going to input a 1/5 x. So 5 times 1/5 is 1, so I have 1x here plus 1. So you'll see that g of x is equal to 1x plus 1. Our slope changed from a 5 to a 1, but our y-intercept remained the same. Okay, and again, the a value that we used was right over here. It was 1/5. So when I go back to the rule, 1/5 is between 0 and 1. Therefore, this is a horizontal stretch.